Hey, this is Connors from Gunroom.tv. Well, technically today it's MagLoad. Last time you saw me with my Smith Wesson MP1522, I'd just gotten it. I decked it out with a few bits and pieces and I was really happy with it. But I did tell you it was going to change. So here it is, the new and updated version of my Smith. Now, as some of you know, I run a small company called MagLoad, which is why technically today this is sort of a MagLoad video as well as a Gunroom.tv video, because I'm never really happy with what other people bring to market, so I tend to do things myself. There's a few bits and pieces on this gun. I'm going to talk you through them in no particular order and show you what I've done. So first things first, we've swapped out the stock. As I said, the one that comes with the Smith originally is very rattly. This one is an airsoft copy of a more famous stock. It has required a couple of modifications, such as a spacer in the top to eliminate some of the wobble there. This is something a little unusual for me because as MagLoad, I don't tend to show you products that aren't yet finished, but there's a lot of prototypes going on here, so bear with me. We have, what I've developed here is a 30-degree throw ambidextrous, optionally ambidextrous safety lever. It's got a nice click to it. It only throws 30 degrees, so it's more like a button than the original lever was. And it's going to come with an option of a short lever on the right-hand side, a long lever on the right-hand side, or you can just leave it without a lever at all if that's what you want. We have a ambidextrous enlarged magazine release here. We've gone with this nice hex pattern, which we're quite happy with, and it's shaped in such a way that you can push forwards on it and it will still push the magazine release. And of course it is ambidextrous. This one is very close to its final version. The safety's done, by the way. We should be hoping to release that in short order. We have a magwell. Now, there aren't many magwells available for the Smith & Wesson 1522. As a matter of fact, the pickings are very slim indeed, and nothing that's available right now is really all that suited to the practical market. So what we've done is, using the knowledge of our sponsored shooters who shoot a lot of mini rifle and know their kit inside and out, we've taken their feedback to develop a magwell that is suitable for practical competition. In so much as not only has it got a much wider flare and much better geometry on the inside than sort of what you typically find on an AR style magwell, but it also has these slots on the side to enable you to load and use your drum magazine. We'll leave this magazine out for the moment and we'll come back to that shortly. In addition to the magwell, we have our breech flag, which we'll come back and talk to you about that later, but this is a new MagLoad breech flag which should be ready soon, which can be stowed on the Picatinny rail. If I close the bolt here, we have a forward charging handle which is in development. Now this isn't quite finished yet, this is still a prototype. We're not too sure where we're going to go with that, but it's working, it's running, and quite happy with the way that's gone. Moving forward, elephant in the room, carbon fibre handguard. I love a bit of carbon fibre. The people we have working for us at the moment making our carbon fibre for our 12 gauge magazine extension tubes kindly made us up some custom sized tube here, which we're going to be using for handguards. Now this isn't a product that's necessarily ready to launch just yet, but it's very, very close. Moving forward, we have a muzzle brake. And we're going to show you some slow motion clips of this muzzle brake working. It is exceptionally efficient. For the longest time, I was a big proponent of 2-2 muzzle brakes just don't work. Many of the ones that are available have the holes that are too small, so you get laminar flow inside the muzzle brake and no actual jetting of excess gases. It all comes out the hole at the end. Or the ports are too big because they're sized for a 223, and a lot of the gases dispersed without actually being used in an efficient manner. We've sized these ports correctly, and you can see in the slow motion footage how efficient that muzzle brake is in stopping muzzle rise. I mean, you still get recoil from the bolt hitting the back of the receiver, but apart from that, it reduces muzzle flip to an absolute minimum. So you're probably going to notice the massive lack of a Razor HD on the top of this gun. The last competition we shot was the Ely Steel Challenge, which is a speed steel. If you haven't watched a little overview on that, please do go and check it out. And I found an optic too heavy and it interrupts my field of view too much. So I went with the Venom Red Dot for this one. Nice wide field of view, had the dot fairly dim throughout the day despite the bright sunshine, and treated it more as a sighting aid rather than an aiming dot. The gun overall is extremely light now compared to an out-of-the-box Smith, and I'm very happy with the way that's turned out. One last thing on the table here are these magazines. We have developed, these are almost ready, magazine extensions to take the standard 25 round magazine to a 31 round magazine. For IPSC competition, that gives you 30 rounds in the magazine, one in the spout. It consists of a new base and a new follower. Base is 2 pieces and it's bolted together and cannot come off once it is on there. That aside, what else can I tell you? I've done some internal modifications. So we have a light and trigger spring on the inside, and we've done a trigger job in there as well. It's good. We've got CMC trigger. I'm not decided yet whether or not I prefer the CMC trigger or the trigger job that's in here. This stock hammer leaves a lot to be desired in terms of the material it's made from. There's only so far we can go in order to make it usable. But I hope you've enjoyed a little trip through the journey that my Smith has been through. If you want to know more, let us know in the comments below. But otherwise, this has been Connors with Gunroom.tv, and I hope to see you again soon.